Hi, yeah, this is Tanya Mez with Apple Tree Homeschool Academy and Apple Tree Home Daycare. I'm pulling apart some of our toddler work workbooks that I got from Scholastic. I ordered like 10 off of Amazon and I got a few at our local Walmart. Wanted to show you how I do this. So first I pull off the cover so that I can loosen the binding. Okay, so I got the front cover and the back cover and pull those off first. Set them to the side. Then I take the whole book and I tear the binding as thick as I can into various little, I'll call them booklets, like this. And that way it loosens the binding in large chunks. And that way you're less likely to tear the edges. Then start separating these little booklets into additional chunks, say in half or thirds, and then start separating those thirds individual sheets. And the sheets will loosen a lot better that way. Every once in a while, you may have to take a pair of scissors and cut the glue off the edge of your binding, off of your little booklets, because it gets thick. See how that gets thick? And usually this is in the first stage when I'm trying to pull all these little mini books apart. I might have to take some scissors and cut this glue off the edge. And then that's going to give you a lot better chance of having clean edges. And then that's less likely to have to use your trimmer to trim up the sides. Every once in a while you may need to use the trimmer on a few pages. But for the most part, if you break it up into chunks like this and then separate the chunks into smaller chunks and then the individual pages, it'll go a lot smoother for you. I already started on our first one. I pulled apart our pond theme and camping theme sheets and laminated them or put them in sheet protectors and have those ready. We're getting ready to have an ice cream theme couple of weeks. So instead of having this sheet to trace with dry erase markers and then it says to color with the four scoops, I'm turning this laminated sheet into a Play-Doh mat. So they'll be able to put their Play-Doh on the number 4 and form the number 4. And then they can use different colored Play-Doh to make their ice cream scoops. So you don't have to use a worksheet exactly the way the directions suggest. You can make different activities up. This is what it looks like on the reverse. They can use either Play-Doh mat, use this as a Play-Doh mat, or dry erase to make more ice cream scoops on the cone. So this would be a counting up or counting on, so that you have 2 scoops and say you want to count to a certain, say 5, 4 or 5. This would be a good activity for counting on. And here is matching one side from left to right. Also, you can, for very small toddlers, you can use Chanel stems or dowel rods instead of having them draw. And because it's laminated, the sheet can be used over and over again with dry erase markers. Now the flip side of your pages may have a totally different theme that you're not working on, but that's what's nice about having multiple copies. This side you can store in your ice cream theme or snack theme, do a second copy and laminate it and keep it in your wild animals bin. This is tracing, so all tracing pages are great to laminate and use dry erase markers on, where they can use it over and over again. And if you want the child's parents to see what they've done that day, to snap a picture and send that home before they wipe it off with either a baby wipe or rubbing alcohol and some kind of cloth or paper towel. So this is sort of a summer theme, I thought, because of the little watermelons. So we're going to have that available too. Any of your tracing pages are great for laminating. This one is tracing the outside edge of these rectangular flags and triangular pizza slices. Trace the windows and door of the house. Now this one, I'm going to take a second copy and cut them out and laminate them and have them physically match pieces to the matching faces. But then also this sheet, they can use dry erase markers on. So two different ways they can use this activity worksheet. If you wanted to use this in Play-Doh, they could make the circles and little balls, flatten them out, and then indent the little facial expressions out of Play-Doh. This is drawing lines from left to right to match the facial expressions. Now this one, I wasn't really caring about the picture on the back and the reverse side of the page. This one says draw more happy faces on the circles. So what I did, they had another page with the sad face with the same directions. Again, I wasn't really caring about the picture that was on the back. So I took a printer paper, a white piece of printer paper, and put it in between the two, put them front to back like this, and so that the one sheet can be flipped, and they can have one activity on one side, one activity on the other, and then the printer paper served as a way of not being able to see the back page for it to bleed through. Here's one of the little popsicle sticks I thought was cute. A little baby blanket. I'll next be working on beach theme, and I thought, well, kites are often at beaches, so I'm getting that one ready. Here's some with alphabet letters and shapes. And this one was tall and short. You're supposed to color the pages, but I think what I'll do is have them put a bead or something that's red and green on the tall and the short slides. And that way this sheet can be used over and over again. Pulled out and laminated a couple of the dinosaur pages. The other week I ordered these thermal laminating pouches on Amazon. It was recommended, and there was 400 pouches. It was saving several dollars per box, and I would let you know how they were working. And this is what I've been using on these sheets, and they're working great. There's no cloudiness. For our purposes, it's not too shiny. I really don't notice any difference. They're good and thick when they're laminated. So yeah, I'm really happy with this brand. I'll keep an eye on the pricing the next time I go order these laminating sheets and maybe order them again. So I just wanted to share with you that if you tear apart your booklet in large chunks, you're less likely to have rough edges and the less trimming that you'll have to do. So that's a good time saver. So if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching.